Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the R&D show. And I say that because this is the first video episode. And I've been hesitating to do it for various reasons. You know, it's not, this shit isn't easy. You know, I don't know. And the only reason I'm doing this because last episode I told you guys that I would do it, and here we are. And it's not ready, but you're never gonna be fully 100% ready for anything that's big or important in life. I'm like hesitating looking at the camera. I'm just going to stare at it like this. But, you know, you got to do it. You got to go. And it's stressful. But stress is underrated. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So it's I've been plugging the Huberman Lab podcast a lot. So if you're interested in anything that has to do with neuroscience, I recommend you guys check it out. But if you want to learn anything in life, it's two things that you have to do. It's intense focus and intense rest. So based on his studies that he's done at Stanford Lab, it sounds actually really easy. And in a way, we've always kind of been trained for it because we've always been told, you got to study, do your homework, kind of focus, and then get a good night's rest. And I always sucked at getting a good night's rest. I've always had trouble sleeping. But if we were able to do that, then that's an important neuro hack. So I got this article here. We learn by improving our neuroplasticity. So it's all about how the brain reorganizes new connections in response to learning something. So, in a nutshell, whatever you do, whatever new task you're starting to learn, whether it's a new job, new podcast, whatever, you want to focus as much as you can while you're doing it. And then once you're done with whatever activity, you want to get as much rest as you can. The reason for that is because if your brain goes into REM sleep, all the recovery that the brain needs to absorb all of the information that you obtained, that you just learned, will be absorbed because of the REM sleep. So whatever it is that you do, if you can get a good night's rest, which I know, I get it, it's like way easier said than done, then you'll actually learn something. And that's actually how the brain works. So keep that in mind. But yeah, man, I don't know. This kind of reminds me of one of my favorite, there's this, what song is it? I think it's called Star 67 on Drake's album, If You're Reading This Is Too Late, which is my favorite Drake album. It's Lil Wayne in the beginning. He's talking to Cameron, and he's like, you know what it is, Cameron? These rappers, they're acting like singers, man. He's like, these rappers, they're like, I need a beat. I need a producer. I need a topic. Who's going to be on the hook? And he's like, yo, what are you doing? You got to go in the studio with clips, ammo. You just got to go. You just got to go. If you think about it too much, it's not going to come out. This is not ready. You know what I mean? Like, this is a great space, great studio. We got the best in the business. My man, Rob, helping us out. But, it's as far as like the vision of like, I want banners. I want uniforms. I want a green screen, and I want the stars kind of behind me. Like, I want all of that, but this is R&D. This is R&D. You know what I mean? And this is kind of it's going to be like a live journal, but just me thinking out loud about what's going on. So I started a new job, and I'm working with this kid. I'm not going to say his name, but he's younger, and he has this thing where he's asking everybody, like, hey, are you taking the vaccine? He's like, hey, Randy, are you taking the vaccine? I'm like, yo, lower your voice. What the fuck? Like, and by the way, like, you're going to see that it's starting to become almost like a fashion kind of swaggy kind of thing. It's like, which vaccine did you take? I took Moderna. Oh, okay. I took AstraZeneca. Oh, okay. My dad just took the Johnson Johnson, and then you have other people like, I took this one, and it's like people wearing it like clothes, and it's like, okay, take it. And I've been thinking about this a lot recently. It's like, I wonder what is going to be the last push for me to actually take it, because I've spoken about this on other episodes, but and again, I'll reiterate, if you're interested in taking it, take it. If you're not interested in taking it, don't take it. I fall in the second category, but it's interesting because at some point there's going to be a push, and whether that's a country saying, oh, you need record of you being vaccinated in order to enter, like Puerto Rico, if they decide to do that, I may get vaccinated, you know what I mean? Or if Brooklyn Mirage is saying, upon entry, you have to present your vaccination card, I may get vaccinated. And maybe that's silly. Maybe like like travel and concerts are the last things that you would consider. It wouldn't be like a close friend, a close relative. No, it wouldn't be any of that. I would just, but because I don't feel like I need it and I don't want it. And it's just as simple as that. And obviously, because I'm aware of how the immune system works, I train it. I'm always doing something, whether it's yoga, whether it's breathing, whether it's pull-ups, whether it's push-ups, whether it's going to the gym eventually. I say eventually just because it looks like this company has an interest in keeping their employees healthy, so I'm gonna have to work out the reimbursement and stuff. But like, I'm active. I take vitamins. I drink water. I don't eat like shit. And by the way, like, if your immune system, you're gonna see this a lot in younger people who take the vaccine, they're always gonna have a much stronger reaction to the vaccine the days after, because your immune system is stronger than those that are older, which makes sense. But either way, you know what I mean? It's funny because it's just such a hot topic, and people keep asking and people keep wondering, and they kind of just and different ways that they frame the question and kind of like apply this pressure. But that's okay. In the right context, pressure is always good. What you don't want is no pressure, right? Because then you end up you're not going to learn anything. You're not going to push yourself. Pressure creates diamonds. And you have to welcome it. You have to become friends with it. But it's all about experience too. Some people are just young. And, talking about hot topic, I was talking to a producer of the show, Rob, about the Lil Nas X scandal that is very current today in today's news. And it's funny because I received a message from Rob's brother. Shout out to, oh man, shout out to Joe. And he texted me, he's like, hey, what do you say? He's like, have you heard about Lil Nas X? Now, by the way, mind you, everybody, I'm not really, during the week, I'm very focused. Like, I try to stay as focused as possible. So I'm not really on a lot of stuff, which is crazy because I'm trying to like develop a brand. Like, I should be on social media a little bit more, but it's not healthy. To be on it so much, it's not healthy. So I have to find that balance. But I don't know what's going on. So Joe texts me and he's like, you familiar with Lil Nas X? And I was like, I mean, I didn't know this man would be a fan of this artist. How old is this guy? I'm gonna look it up right now. And I don't know what he's talking about. I was like, maybe he's a fan of music. Maybe he liked Old Country Road. Maybe he liked any of those hits. Maybe he's a maybe he's excited for the new song coming out with the video. But I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about. So then the day after, I see everything just, I actually go on my phone and I notice what's going on, and I was like, whoa. And I just kind of want to go over like the specifics of this. So dude came out with a Satan shoe, and the price of it is $1,018, and he put Luke 10:18 on the shoe. What does Luke 10:18 mean? Or what is, Rob, are you familiar with that? I mean, when you saw it, you immediately knew? Yeah. Okay. So, and I have it here. Satan, in Luke 10:18, Christ says he saw Satan fall like lightning from the heavens. And apparently there's a drop of human blood in the shoe. And it's red. And then the video comes out of the song, I think it's called Montero. And it's where he seduces and then kills Satan and takes the unholy crown for himself. But it said it was overtly sexual. Is that right, Rob? Rob is nodding. Listen, this is my thing. A lot of things here. But I'm not a Christian in the official of the word, like, and I want to say spiritual, but when people say, oh, I'm very spiritual, it just has like a weird fake kind of vibe to it now. Do I believe in a higher power? Yeah. And am I navigating that? Yes. But I don't know, but I feel like and I'm not an atheist, but even from an atheist point of view, I feel like it's too much, like a little too much. Like it's a lot. Like I'm seeing it and I'm like, this is obviously very, very provocative. It's it's aiming for the reaction. It's very, hey, look at this, look at me. It's, and apparently he's this was in collaboration with Brooklyn company MSCHF. And I think they're getting sued by Nike now, which is interesting. That's crazy. That's how you know, if you're getting sued by Nike, Jesus Christ. But I shouldn't have said that, Rob. Apologies. And this is, I just don't know why people want to be so divisive, man. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I know it's, I understand that the aim here is that there should be an element of artistry, but I think it's too much. And it's just, I wonder what reaction he would have gotten if he went the other way. If he went, I'm going to make a Jesus shoe or a God shoe. Like it probably wouldn't. He definitely wouldn't have gotten the same visceral reaction, but he might have been clowned. And he's getting clowned now. He's getting ripped apart. But I don't know. I don't know. But this is what I wanted to start with, or where I was going when I started this. Is he's 21 years old now. I believe at 21, you should take accountability for your actions. You should start to learn to do that. I don't think you can really hide behind I'm just learning kind of, or I'm very young still. I don't know the world, any of that. But this is the way I think about this and most things that I see on the internet. And one of my favorite movies is Good Will Hunting, and there's a scene. So like the whole premise of the movie is, a young Matt Damon is a troubled youth, and he's going to Robin Williams to seek counsel. to seek, he's going to him for therapy. Robin Williams is the psychologist. And in the movie, Matt Damon is a genius. He's incredibly smart, really well read, high mathematical ability. He's solving equations on the board, you know what I mean? But he's from a really, he's had a really hard upbringing, and in a difficult environment. And so he keeps going to these different shrinks to get help from different people, and he's not connecting with anybody. And he finally goes to Robin Williams, and because they're from the same area, they connect a little bit. They kind of talk to each other, and he's also he's not the conventional therapist. He's somebody he feels he can actually talk to, but he's doing what he does. He's reciting all these kind of different books, and he knows this and he knows that, and he's kind of just like, in a way, trying to show Robin Williams that he's smarter than him, but then also that he's almost trolling just him and his profession. Like, I know more than you, and I'm poor, but you think you think you can help me, all this stuff. And then Robin Williams grabs him by the throat, and then he's like, he's pretty much just saying, don't fuck with me, because he started talking about his wife. And then later on, they meet up, and they're like in front of this lake. And sorry, even before that, Robin Williams is at home at night, and he's thinking about this kid, like this fucking kid. Who does he think he is? He thinks he knows everything. He doesn't, because he's so smart, he thinks he knows everything. He thinks he's smarter than me. He thinks he has the authority to talk about my wife, deceased wife. And then eventually just, the scene cuts. And then the next scene is they're meeting up, and they're at the lake talking. And this is kind of like their therapy session. And very simply put, Robin Williams kind of goes up to me. He's like, listen, I've been thinking about you and everything you've said to me. And it's, you're a bright kid. But he said something. He was like, and then I was up all night thinking about this and that. But then I thought of something, and then I had a beautiful, peaceful, I just had one of the best sleep sessions. Like, he had like the best sleep ever. And it's because it came to him, and he's like, he's just a kid. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anything. Same thing with like the kid that I just started working with. Like, he's asking people vaccines. He's, by the way, too many tangents, but he does things that he shouldn't. And he says things that he shouldn't. This is like his first job from graduating college. And I think, I'm sure he's a smart kid, really smart kid, but he doesn't know anything of the world, has no experience. Lil Nas X, 21 years old. Fuck we know at 21. We don't know anything. I'm 28. I don't know anything. So in the way I look at it, and the way that it kind of calms me, is like, these people, they're just kids. Even on Twitter, even on Facebook, on all shit, they're just kids. But, well, Randy, it's not only kids, it's now the adults kind of going in and being affected by this. It's true. But most times, it's like the loudest people, they're children. Even you can get age out of the equation. Most of them are just children. And they don't even have the patience to listen more than they talk. Or even just fucking, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And it's not really up to us to teach them. I think they have to learn it on their own. But like, for us to be the authority, and Rob, we've spoken about this, like, people want to be the authority. People want to be the authority, and I think you should just be your own authority. If you focus on becoming the best person you can be, I think that's just the better route. It's the higher path. But I don't know, man. Who knows? I wonder how many of those shoes my boy will sell. But who knows, man? I don't know. I'm just going. At this point, I have some things written here, but I don't know. Oh yeah, breaking news, by the way. And just because we've spoken about this on the show before too, Andrew Cuomo legalizes adult use marijuana, expunges former pot convictions. Harry's pretty much the unofficial just news correspondent of the show. He sends me all these articles. I'm not going to be paying him though. New York officially legalized weed Wednesday as Governor Cuomo signed legislation that will regulate the sale of recreational marijuana for adults and expunge the records of people previously convicted of possession. Possession is a very light charge. Possession of marijuana. In New York, if you get caught with marijuana, you're not really, cops don't do anything. And I actually experienced this personally. Like if they find only flower on you, like the actual bud, they don't care. It's nothing. They actually let you go. But if they find something more concentrated like an edible, then that's a bigger problem. Now, most people are excited about this. This is good news. Overall, it's fine news, but again, I just think about the fact that there's so many things here, right? Like, of course, this could have been done earlier. And it looks like it's an attempt to try to bring more money into the state after so many people have left. Of course, Cuomo is going to be quick to sign this into legislation, especially after all the heat that he's taken from, the nursing home scandal. He's getting Me Too'd. Probably won't be elected again. How does that even work? The governor holds office for 4 years and can choose to run for re-election. The governor is not eligible to serve more than 8 years in any 12-year period. This is fine. Historic day in New York, one that rights the wrongs of the past by putting an end to harsh prison sentences. Yeah. Very good. Overall, very good. I don't know. I mean, okay. Everybody cares, but at the same time, who cares? It's the same thing. It's fine. It's just a lot of this shit is posturing. A lot of this shit is just put into the news to just. He's done in general, but a lot of this stuff is calculated. So very good, but I don't think, this is at the same time of one of the biggest trials in the history of the U.S., I think, because the Chauvin trial is going on right now as we speak, I think. They're trying to get him for second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. I've thought about this a good amount. So, and let me start. I believe he's guilty. I believe he's a murderer. I believe he's somebody who abused his power and abused it and murdered somebody. And we've all seen the video, but this is the way that I'm thinking about it, right? This is a little thought experiment. So again, I believe he should be convicted. I believe justice should be served, especially for, the family and the name of George Floyd. But let me walk you through this little thought experiment. So, and this, I've heard this in like other kind of just very quietly, I've heard like people talking about this, and it's been mentioned on a podcast, but it is interesting because his defense is going to argue that everything that he did was showed to him by the police force that he signed up for. In a sense, like, they're going to say that everything that he was doing was according to the procedure, to the way that he was trained. So if all he was doing was what he was trained to do, is he at fault? The defense is going to say, his defense is going to say no. But this is the thing. In what world does he walk away free? And he might, but I'm just going to say, if he somehow circumvents being found guilty and being sentenced, then, best prepare for another round of riots, for sure. I mean, that's just what's going to happen. There's no way that anybody would do that, especially at the way tensions are, like, just the way society is right now, how divided we are. Some people are still out of work. They have time to revolt, to riot. So in a way, it's almost like there's no way that he's not going to be, found innocent. And I'm not saying that he should. I'm just saying that it's already we're already in a situation where he has to be found guilty in order for there not to be massive civil unrest. That's kind of crazy to think about. It's like, I mean, I'm sure it's happened in other trials, but this is a big trial. And because, this is the fucking guy who, what he did was what, I guess, set off everything that we saw as far as like the BLM movement, riots. And I'm not saying it started from there. I'm just saying, like, the amount of power that the BLM movement, whoever the leaders are, and I don't think there really are, like, clear leaders. I don't think there are. And if there are, they're probably making a lot of money off that name. But that's a whole different thing. Because I do support, well, there's different BLMs, and there's different people who say BLM and say not. Like, I've heard of people, and this is true, I'm not even going to say details, but I've heard of people murdering other people the same race as them. They were both black, but before that, he was selling BLM shirts. So it depends which one you're talking about. But the George Floyd murder and Derek Chauvin's involvement in it is what completely sent everything revolving that movement, all of the protests, all the riots, into another level. So it's interesting. I'm not gonna follow. I don't have time to fucking follow a trial. Like, what is this? Like, I don't have time to just kind of, oh, this is happening. No. I'll tune in just every now and then. Okay, what's going on? Okay, boom. But I'm just gonna say, you just gotta be ready, because if somehow he's found innocent, it's gonna be crazy. And yeah, man, I don't know, man. But if you're doing things the right way, hopefully you're not focusing on that. Hopefully you're focusing on yourself, on focusing on starting something new, learning something new, becoming a little better, breathing a little bit more. By the way, stress is underrated because it can help you learn. But if you find yourself to be stressed, there's nothing better than a simple breathing technique. And I know it's difficult to remember that while you're stressed, but it's just as simple. And I'm going to go into depth as to which ones you can use for which purposes, and because there's so many different breathing techniques. But it's as simple as extending your inhalations and extending your exhalations. Mainly, if you want to bring your heart rate down, extend your exhalations. And if you do this before bed, it can help you go to sleep also. If you breathe in, count to say 4, and then when you exhale for 6. You're gonna be exhaling more than you inhale. It'll bring your heart rate down, calm you down, help you go to sleep. But yeah, I'm trying to see what else I can, I don't know, food for thought. But yeah, I'm trying to see what else I can even bring up here. This is everything I've been doing, by the way. It has been impromptu. This will be the 4th unreleased episode that I have. So I don't want to hear, hey, you said that, you're going to do a video episode, but you did the ball o'clock thing instead. I don't really like soccer. It's not really my thing. Hey, listen. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because a lot of moving parts, and this is impromptu, but then it's crazy because these conversations are just finding me. It's nuts. Like ever since I started this, things kind of just are moving in a way that I can't even. It's just flowing, and I can't even control it. And I'm all about it. I'm here for it. You got to be ready. You got to be ready. That's what it is. Had a great conversation with my brother Carlos. That'll be on the Patreon. By the way, if you actually support me, support the show, support the Patreon. $5 a month. But you know what? If you don't want to do it, I get it. I understand. Money's tight. All logical reasons to not support the Patreon. But there's going to be bonus content on there. So that Carlos episode's not going to be for everybody. The other 2 episodes that I recorded, are you cool, by the way, with me saying your name? And yeah, cool. All right. So the other 2 episodes I recorded, one of them was very impromptu. I just came in to speak to my friend Rob here, and started off as a really friendly conversation, as it always does, but then we had a little bit more to say. Very deep, very profound topics. And Rob and I, we're not the same. We're not the same. We're different people. Different walks of life, different age, a lot of things. But just because of that doesn't mean I'm not going to listen to him. I'm not going to hear his perspective, understand where he's coming from, find the good in him, take the good from the conversation. Every conversation you have to go into, and you have to assume that the other person knows something you don't. Because that's going to be a good conversation. You're actually going to be listening, you're going to be engaged. If you have something to say, maybe kind of offer your own opinion, and that's what it is. So that'll come out. If there's a lot of backlash, I don't think there will be, but if there's a lot of backlash for some reason, it'll go on the Patreon. The episode after that was with Rob and his brother. Also very, very good. And talk about them as people. Talk about finding God, what it means to them to find God, to read the Bible, read the gospel. And this Friday is Good Friday. Sunday's Easter. I don't know what anybody's, religious inclinations are. As all of this is very personal. But I'm not gonna say I don't believe in anything, because I'm not a nihilist. And I also just been through too much. I'm gonna start reading like little snippets. Like Rob sends me some good stuff. Joe sends me some good stuff. I'm gonna start reading little passages of the Bible here and there. Because why not? Can't really hurt, I don't think. Can you lose by following God? But anyway, large conversation, large topic, really good song. But I wanted to learn how to handle money a little bit better. And when I was in Costa Rica, I met this really cool guy. His name is Ty, and he was telling me that he was telling me he found this guy. His name is Dave Ramsey, and he's really good. He taught him what it is to manage his money better, what the baby steps are. The first step is you want to save $1,000. Second is, it's just going to be a long step, is like pay off all your debt except your house. And then the third, like I'm not going to go through all of them, but like the third one I think is like once you paid off all your debt, you want to throw 15% of your income into different investments. Those are just three. If you want to learn more about his process, his steps, look up Dave Ramsey. He has a lot of good content. A lot of people call him with their financial troubles. I bring him up because he has one of my favorite quotes about finding God. And it's really simple, and it's almost funny how simple it is, but it's great. He's like, I met God on the way up. I got to know him on the way down. It's all about experience. And I'm not here to project the way I think or anything like that onto anybody else. If you want to listen to the show, that's cool, man. All good stuff. But this is what it is, and one of the things that I wanted to talk about and even clear up is it's funny because I was telling Rob, I was listening back to the episode we recorded, and one of the things we were talking about was words are really hard. Like taking a thought that's in your head and then finding a way to vocalize it and it makes sense to somebody else is ridiculous. It's crazy. So I have a lot of respect for people that can do that and make music or create a painting, a movie, whatever. If you are able to, if you're able to execute the thoughts that you have in your head and then somebody else listens to it and they're like, you know what, that makes sense. I connect with that. That's dope. I mean, I respect that. But words are hard. Things get lost in translation. I was trying to give them an example of that, and I completely fucked it up because I can't. I'm trying to take what's in my head and then try to put it in somebody else's head. And that's insane because you have to get through their filter. Through their filter. Can't even fucking pronounce words. But I wanted to go a little deep, and I wanted to say something that I didn't say in those podcasts. So I asked how the word repent is used in the Bible, and I believe it's something, it's repent and I don't want to butcher. The man is here. He's gonna get mad at me. Hold on, let me look it up. Repent and be baptized. Oh no, there's so many. This word, I'm like obsessed with this word. Matthew 4:17. From that time, Jesus began to preach, saying, "Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand." And and I've asked different people, but when people, or even when I would hear that word, I always thought of it as feel sorry for yourself or be sorrowful, feel bad, and follow God because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So the original word in Greek, which Joe's brother Rob knew, is metanoia, right? Metanoia actually means shift your view, shift your perspective, and the kingdom of heaven is at hand. But it got kind of messed up because from metanoia, it got translated into Latin as penitencia. And then from Latin, it became repent, and it became in every other language, right? And that's kind of one of the examples that I wanted to provide of things getting lost in translation. I've talked a lot about, and I've been just in an angry tone about, I don't like being shamed. I don't like being told to feel sorry for myself, especially if I try to be true to myself, and if I'm honest with the fact that I don't know everything and I'm actually on a path of getting better. And I show that with my actions, not only my words, but with my actions. But it kind of reminds me of that, like when I hear the repent word and like the way that I was looking at it. But the original form of it is not feel sorry for yourself. It's actually shift your view, change your perspective, and you'll find the kingdom of heaven. And one of the greatest, I don't know about greatest, but one of my favorite authors is and thinkers is Eckhart Tolle. He's a German. Let me pull up the correct description because I'd just be butchering people's description. Eckhart Tolle is a spiritual teacher and best-selling author. He is the author of The Power of Now and A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. Now, this could be considered new agey a little bit. I get that. But he had a really, really, I thought it was an amazing interpretation of not only the word repent, but also kingdom of heaven. The way that I'm sure he has references to why, because he's the one that I learned the word metanoia from, and just I've been learning a lot about being present, the power of being present, of understanding that you are not your thoughts, understanding that you have two selves. You have the egoic self, which is your identity, and people live in their identity now. They only identify with their egoic self. But there's also the essential self. And that's that spiritual part of you, that part of you that you have no control over, that is something that guides you, where you find space in the mind, you find peace. You're very peaceful. You know, it's your essential self, right? And one of the things that he was saying about the kingdom of heaven is, the thing is, like, with these words, you know, you have to look at the text yourself, which I haven't done, and you have to really read it, understanding, and really understand the origins of it. So based on his readings, his interpretations, or just his readings, his interpretation is, what if we, instead of saying kingdom of heaven, we made kingdom dimension and heaven spaciousness. So what if the kingdom of heaven, and I've actually said this before, but what if kingdom of heaven means dimension of spaciousness? If you can find space in the mind, if you're able to be present, if you're able to engage in activities that can bring you to that, is that what heaven is? I don't know. But that's pretty cool. It's like, change your perspective and find space in your mind. Because if you don't, then your thoughts are just going to keep controlling you. There are people, and we've all met them, that they put a front on their whole life. Their entire life, they're in the ego part of it. You know. You can't really blame age at that point. But they never do the work, man. They never try. And I wonder if this is an extension of the egoic part of me or the essential part of me. I guess if I was really wrapped up in how I looked, sounded, just everything, then I wouldn't even do this. But I'm trying. I'm doing. But I can only control my actions, my mind. And that's the same for everybody else. You can only control your actions, your mind. So I don't even put much stock in, or just energy in getting mad at shit that I read. It's, it's a quick reaction and it'll happen, but I don't stay mad, because why? What do you gain from it? Nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all. We got like half an hour in. 50. 15 left. Perfect. Solid 45. This is the first time I do a solo episode too, and I've been wanting to do one. But, it's always the same thing. I'm not ready. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to this. I don't know what to that. Gotta just go, man. Gotta just go sometimes. I don't know if I'm going to drop this tomorrow or Monday. It'll be one of the two. But it'll kind of be, if I drop it tomorrow, it'll kind of be kind of like Memento-ish, like a little kind of like maybe even like Pulp Fiction-ish, where it's like you start from the end, and then, because the episode I did with Rob, that'll come out Friday, Good Friday. And if we have permission, then the episode with his brother come out on Easter. And people can listen to it, not listen to it, whatever. But there is content available if you are interested. And whoever's listening, by the way, whoever's listening in Columbus, Ohio, please identify yourself. I don't know anybody in Columbus, and it's like a whole gang of people in Columbus that are listening. It's like a whole family, like one family, one very large, hard work. I don't know if they're working. I mean, but I don't know who they are. Whoever's listening over there, identify yourself, please. But I thank everybody for listening and now watching. Gonna try to keep the video up. Gonna have some great people in here. Really interesting people. Gonna do more of the Ball O'Clock episodes. It's a really good group. Really knowledgeable, really dope, swaggy guys. And that's just fun. You know what I mean? That's just fun. We're gonna talk about music in here a little bit. A lot of good stuff. I'm trying to see what else I got here. It wasn't a terrible show, I don't think. But yeah. Oh yeah. Like, share, subscribe, review. If you're actually listening, let me know. That'd be nice. Yeah, man, a lot to think about. I'm going to be with my family this weekend. Connect, have some good conversations, eat some good food. I've always celebrated Easter. And I think, this year, this weekend, I think it's nice because I'm going to look at it in a little bit of a different light. It's all good stuff. And yeah, man. What else can I who else can I come at? Damn it. Come at. That's like the way that I'm going to end it. I'm just going to keep coming at people. But yeah, man, let me know. A lot of stuff in the works. Got a logo in the works. Videos coming together now. Website, more bonus content on the Patreon. I'm going to do another, like a separate Instagram page, like a lot of work, but slowly but surely you'll see, things moving along. And yeah, man, thanks for listening. Nobody's listening, but whoever is, thank you. And I wish you well, man. Oh, speaking of wish you well, something's going on with Ghislaine Maxwell. I think they finally like are convicting her of charged with sex trafficking of a 14-year-old girl. So she'll be murdered very shortly. I gotta get some people on here to do a full deep dive on. There's so many different Epstein podcasts though, like with like solid information with real research. It's all out there, but yeah, it's kind of, sometimes it's just fun to talk about. And but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The only person that matters is you, the individual. That's it. We come in to this world alone, we leave alone. Keep on keeping on. And, stay tuned. We'll have some more stuff, better shows. Everything will come along. And I'm going to end it this way. This is one of the best quotes, one of my favorite quotes ever. And it's a quote that Pharrell said to J Balvin. And he told him, I was, am, and forever will be a student. All right. Take care, everybody. Peace.